Manners by Anonymous. Suggested by Wong Zhong Lan Girl. As the Avengers, dubbed Team Cap by some and the Rogues by others, marched through the halls towards the Stark Industries board meeting, they were confident in how things would play out. "So, everyone know their script?" Natasha asked, specifically to Wanda, who looked back with an eye roll. "Don't give me that look, hun. You hate Stark more than any of us, but you need to at least pretend to feel sad." "I know the plan, Nat," Wanda sighed. Tony Stark had died 2 weeks ago, died on a mission with the Avengers. In hindsight, maybe they should have responded to his SOS calls, but they also didn't really care much. The word team was just a show, after all. After the funeral, which the Rogues had skipped, things had gone on pretty much the same since then. Cap had given them all the order to pack their bags and prepare to move into Stark Tower. With Stark gone, they intended to reuse the assets for the greater good of the Avengers. The only difficulty was that they didn't legally own the tower. Pepper Potts did. Thus, the plan was formed. Act really sincere, play on Pepper's emotional state. She'd most likely still be in a state of mourning, and more likely to separate herself from anything related to Stark. They'd offer a contract, she'd sign it, and then they'd evict her and rebuild. If she refused to comply, well, they could always say she slipped into an Ophelia complex. Who'd doubt the word of the Avengers? So when the door of the penthouse office opened, revealing not Pepper Potts, but instead a masked Iron Man suit sitting at the head of the table, they reacted in shock. They froze in place, and Wanda even gasped. "Stark?" Cap said, breathless from surprise. "No, I'm afraid we weren't that lucky," a mechanically altered voice said from the suit. Cap relaxed when he realised it wasn't Tony's voice, but realised it also wasn't Pepper's voice either. "This room is booked for a meeting with Pepper Potts," Cap said, sheathing his shield. "I suggest you leave." "I'm afraid that Miss Potts, the poor thing, was in too much distress to attend this meeting," the Iron Soldier said. "I'm here to represent..." The more the mysterious metal man talked, revealing more of his attitude and demeanour to the gang, Sam began to notice the colours of the suit, red and blue. Things started to make a lot more sense to him. "You're Spider-Man," Sam glared, and the masked figure didn't deny it. "Ding, ding, ding," Spider-Man revealed with some jazz hands. "He's guessed it." "Queens?" Cap raised an eyebrow. "I didn't realise you and Tony were so close." "Oh yeah, we go way back," Spider-Man nodded. "But let's not dwell on that. Come, sit, we've got much to discuss." Team Cap took their seats, Wanda briefly kicking her feet up on the table before Natasha forced them down. "I'm sure you have a million questions," Spider-Man continued. "Not really," Natasha interrupted him before he could continue. Now that she knew Pepper wasn't the one attending the meeting, it was time for a different approach. "We just need to know if we are allowed to keep using the building for training and storage." Cap shot her a look. Since they wanted more then, they wanted the whole building, but Natasha responded with a look of her own. They needed more time to re-evaluate a better plan, now that their host had changed. But Spider-Man shot them down before they even took flight. "No." That caught them off guard. "What?" "I said no," Spider-Man repeated, copying Wanda's early notion of kicking his feet up on the table. "No, I don't want you anywhere near this building. In fact, once this meeting is over, I'm gonna ask you to never come back again." "Now hold on," Cap tried to reason with Spider-Man, only to get interrupted. "Furthermore, you will return any and all Stark equipment you may have back to my industries," Spider-Man said. "That will include your shield." Looking around the room, they couldn't see it, but a smile crossed Peter's face. "I'm sure now you have some questions." And the room exploded into chaos. "How dare you? Who do you think you are, ignorant brat?" "Ladies, gentlemen, please try and calm down," Peter waved his hands, brushing their shouts aside. "One at a time, please." "Who do you think you are?" Cap repeated. "Stark's father gifted me this shield, and I will not return it." Peter rolled his eyes. "He let you borrow it. That shield is legally under this company's, and by extension my, property." You can't have it, Steve scoffed. Nor will we return any of our equipment, and we also won't stand for being banned from this tower. Wow, a bold stance, refusing all of my demands, Peter nodded sarcastically. Tell me, what exactly were you expecting when you came here? We were expecting some respect, Cap glared. Well, that has to be earned, Peter shrugged. Or bought. My price is the shield, he added. A glance was shot from Natasha to Wanda, who nodded and brought her hands under the table to attempt some magic. But the second she tried it, magnetic metal cuffs locked her fingers to her seat. Hey! She gasped, struggling to move. Cap saw what Peter did and brought his shield out. Let her go. Give me the shield, Peter said. She just attempted to use some magic on me. As you might suspect, I'm not a fan of that. Before Cap could even react, the shield on his hand slid off and flew into the air, magnetising itself to the roof. Ah, so the vibranium magnet Jury sold me does work, Peter smiled. Perfect. Unarmed, Cap tried to punch Peter, but failed as he dodged it with ease, flying into the air with his suit. Natasha brought out her guns, and Peter just floated them in the sky while she unloaded into him. He did nothing until she was out of bullets. Wow, that was effective, Peter said sarcastically, as his suit didn't even have a dent. Before the rogues could continue any further, Peter dropped a newly crafted, modified flash grenade and closed his eyes. The flash went off, and all the others in the room, apart from Peter, went limp and slumped to the floor. Peter allowed his suit to unhover and descended to the floor, sighing, Why do people never learn? Within the day, the rogues were arrested on conspiracy and attempted assault charges. Since it wasn't their first offence, they weren't shown any mercy and were sent to the raft. There they would sit in jumpsuits, mumbling to themselves in annoyance. Peter, having acquired Steve's shield, wore it with his iron spider suit and donned a new appearance, the Avenger, a single-soldier, one-man army that would protect the world, just as Tony did. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Have a lovely day.